sort of the... God, Aniero's gonna fucking
Did we really
kill
need Skuro
us.
here for that?
Well, no, we needed Skuro here for this next part. Because I thought that since we never get a chance to do them on the actual show, and Aniero's not here, we have to at least do something that he feels he, like, got something out of it, right? So I think we should read a fan fiction so that he doesn't have to worry about... Yeah, no, he doesn't have to worry about hearing this fan fiction or people asking him to read it on the show, right? We did this for you, Aniero. We're taking this bullet for you. So Skuro...
I'm really going to hate this show.
So Skuro, I'm sure that you have the outline open because you're actually here to contribute to the show, right?
I just opened it.
Okay. Scroll down to the bottom.
There's two down there.
Yeah, there's two of them.
There's two. Do we want to
There's two of them
do
there.
Hallowed Ground, or do we want to do FanFest? A mini fanfic. Oh, actually, you know, fuck it. We're just gonna do both. We're gonna do both.
We're gonna
Skuro,
clear out our backlog of fan fiction.
So wait, I'm
that's
reading
right. You're gonna read the first one, and since this second one came from Praise Juxta superfan Frumpy Raccoon, Juxta's gonna read that one.
Well, apparently this first one has.
I thought we were trying
requested
not
me
to
or
piss
you to
off
read
Aniero.
it.
I don't care what they requested. I'm the one who runs this show.
Okay.
Skuro, you are reading from Obinya Chizarit of Malboro, Hallowed Ground. They do say I'm a long-time podcast listener, first-time email. I offered you an LBR fanfic of the worst kind. Enjoy. Skuro, and obviously Aniero can put the sex music in underneath it, so I'm not going to try and put that in right now, so people in chat don't fucking get on my shit about it. Skuro, take away Hallowed Ground.
She hurried as fast her legs could take her, as her savagely lumbering trunks quickened onward. She tried to settle her mind on a singular focus. Yet with every other stomp of Flash, or what the hell? Okay, anyway, reading. Flash desire quaked within her
Why is
loins.
Skuro reading this?
As the rage of Malone.
I mean, I kind of was throwing up at my mouth, like in the first.
A little bit.
Oh, it's just such a creepy vibe.
She hated herself.
I
All right,
can read this so much better.
Skuro, sorry. Oh, really, Nikki? You think you could read this better?
Oh,
don't know if I can-
okay. Nope, Nika, hey, hi.
Can I?
That's all you.
All right,
Enjoy.
Nika,
Can I make it really dramatic?
take it from the top.
Because
Go as
it's really
dramatic as you
embarrassing
wanna
and
be.
bad. Like, because it's about me and I don't, yeah. So can
Oh, so
I,
that's why
can
you
I-
don't want me reading it. Okay.
No, I don't actually want to read it, but can I make it really dramatic and like way better and not stumble over my words?
Yes, take it from the top. Hallowed Ground
No,
by Nika.
stumble
Go.
over every single
All of
fucking
them.
word.
All right. Here we go. She hurried as fast as her legs could take her. As her savagely lumbering trunks quickened onward, she tried to settle her mind on a singular focus. Yet with every other stomp, a flash of desire quaked within her loins, as the rage of Halone against the heretic. She hated herself. She had sworn an oath to him, her love, but still her heart danced to and fro. As her gate's strength weakened, she tried to temper her will against the push of her vice. She remembered when the only communication with him was her now aged link pearl. How she had longed for his gentle touch between and around her peaks. How she had wished to hold him aloft and carry him like a sylph or a head of lettuce she could slice up for a sandwich. They would tell each other everything. Well, almost everything. Her secret was like a rampart between him and her true desires.
Oh my gosh, is this gonna get to like the smut yet? This is like
This is beautiful.
Let her
Here
go.
we go.
Let her go.
She could see their cottage ahead of her. Her goal, her love, sat innocently inside. She thought that she could protect him, that she could cover for her true self. I love the paladin puns, by the way. Not any longer. This was fight or flight, and she resolved to fight for him. Besides, he would find out anyway, considering how often her public discussions ended up about... Oh, no.
Who
She had
is
worked
it?
herself up, struggling with her internal monologue and my wordy prose. It was time. Blood rushed to all the right places, her cheeks so flushed you would even say they glowed in a normal, humish, feminine way. It was here. But where? There! Sweat glistened upon her brow and down her now exposed majestic and thunderous thighs and glutes. She hugged her knees, and it came. It came not as the largest and most peaceful political marches of our time, but as a riot, a goring blade that went right through her. Agape the spirits within her laid waste with royal authority upon the ground below. A true circle of scorn. She quivered and trembled with pleasure. One beastly femro hand clenched the other wrist. She bit her lip with a moan and tried to contain her scream, but with a sound like 9,999 kazoos, it was over.
Wait, are they having
Wait! Oh, yeah, what happened?
I don't know. It's not finished yet.
Wait.
It says, sloppy. Convalescence. She now felt relieved. Her embarrassment was no more. She was ready to tell her love her secret. She just needed to make a quick visit to the market board because who the heck actually levels culinarian? Yes, with her newly embraced clemency, she was unstoppable. She was woman, I think. Anyway, now she could be senpai. Finished. Or to be continued.
So wait, did she grow like a penis at the end?
I don't know. There's like 2 more paragraphs here, even though it says Finn.
Like a
a
woeful
different
man.
one. I think.
No.
It's a continuation of it.
Keep
continuation,
going.
It's not done. It says, he lay pressed to the ground. He had devised the perfect troll. He had fed Senpai some sketchy info about the revival of the samurai arts in hopes of delivering a beautiful moment between Nika and her husbando. He then planned to Shikuchi into frame with some evidence he had acquired from the very seriously lonely painter. See, he had caught Nika having way too much fun doing something in studio, then commissioned some work from memory. The angst, disappointment, and tears would have fed his masochistic soul. All he had to do was lay low and hide in some bushes outside of her place. Crap. His eyes watering. How did she know? He had been ambushed, and now he lay under a pile of skuro. The weight of 1,000 skuros upon his chest. He couldn't even conjure a suiton. He was stuck, and he was beginning to like it. It felt strange. His only comfort was that the data he had mined from those elegant tombstones was false. Probably callowed ground.
Does anyone have any idea what the fuck actually happened in this story?
Am I people in this story, or am I like a synonym for
Skuro
poop?
had sex with you.
Yeah, I think the idea was that you were trying to trap me, and then I sent in Skuro instead, or something.
You got Skuroed.
I definitely got lost on the after the to be continued. It sounded to me like you were going to senpai, but I think just ended up
what it sounds like
masturbating before you got there.
That would set me and senpai up for a romantic night, but instead you were gonna jump in and take his place and trick me. But instead, I caught you and I sent in Skuro in my place.
Yeah,
that's what I got. That's what I got.
I give it 0 out of 10. Didn't have an erection.
Not even half chub.
No.
That was all very, very confusing.
Too descriptive.
But I read it way better.
The wording was nice.
You did, yes, read it way, way better. But that was probably our worst fanfic. Sorry, person who sent that in.
This next one is hard to read because there's no paragraph breaks.
I know, that's why Juxta's going to do it. He doesn't need paragraph or structures.
It's actually the opposite. Nika did such a great job before. So
No. Fanfic from Frumpy Raccoon, hashtag praise Juxta.
Okay, Frumpy Raccoon is actually in the chat. It says, Kahlo, read mine.
I don't like Frumpy Raccoon, so no.
What?
No.
That's not nice.
Why?
I like him.
Because he wants to make a cult of Juxta. Joe Landis,
real
my
thing.
dick is so confused right now. Come on, Juxta.
Who's reading this?
He's your super fan.
Yeah, and my
For the
super
fans,
fan
man.
wants Kahlo to
fan.
read it. So go on, Kahlo.
Can't believe you're actually turning down a moment to have your voice heard, Juxta.
It's because I am honoring the wishes of our very loyal Frumpy Raccoon listener, which you are trying to deny, which, frankly, I find appalling. And once we become rich and famous, this is going right into the documentary.
Also, the third league Overwatch League map is starting here pretty
Shut
soon, so.
up, Skuro.
I just was assuming that's why, but you know, whatever. Words.
All right, so fanfic from Frumpy Raccoon, FanFest, a mini fanfic. A sweaty, drunk, flushed Aniero stumbled through his hotel room door, screeching at the top of his lungs about Susan, Yoshi, and Tanaka for whatever reason. He flopped his pale body onto the bed and looked up, his eyes as red as an Amola Jaw's cock. He saw standing before him his goddess, his mole tank, Nika. His final conquest was before him, the final LBR cast member. He then thought of all the others before her, Juxta, Kahlo, Ascalia, Gamer, the Rusty Paladin. All of them had fought him, but he took what he wanted and made them bend to his will. He was the host, and they would fulfill all of his stretch goals.
This is awesome.
He reached up and grabbed Nika by the back of the head and thrust her down onto his nether regions. Everything went black at that moment. Aniero woke up the next morning and his pants were thrown in the corner. His crotch was covered in some odd fluid, and it stunk to high heaven. Then it struck Aniero he had mounted Nika in all its glory, but he didn't remember a thing. Oh, if only he hadn't have smoked a redwood-sized blunt and drank all of those juxta body shots. But then Aniero noticed his laptop was open, with the camera facing him. Had Aniero had the foresight to record his 50 Shades of Paladin? He stumbled over and opened the latest file. Aniero couldn't believe it. Apparently, Nika punched Aniero in the side of the head and knocked him the fuck out and left the door wide open. And not a minute later, a small, slender, jewelry-wearing Japanese man lurched into the room. What the fuck was Yoshi P doing in my room, Aniero thought. And it dawned upon him that second. He watched Yoshi P slide off his pants.
No.
Yoshi licked his hand and whipped it between Anero's cheeks and thrust upon him with the power of a director and producer. Aniero watched helplessly as Yoshi delivered several patches upon him. Mid-thrust, Aniero opened his eyes and looked up at his game developer and said, "You've been fucking us over for years, but I never imagined it could be this beautiful."
Jesus.
Aniero let loose a single tear. He had never been the bottom. Is this the joy that Juxta must feel? Yoshi looked Aniero right in the eyes as his face flushed, and he sprayed all over him with the quantity and quality of a 2.0 patch. He then slapped Aniero across the face and said, "We're going free to play," and crawled out of the hotel room.
Crawl.
Aniero closed the laptop and went to the shower. He was in love. He needed more of his new director daddy, but he knew he could never tell anyone. This would be his secret until his dying day, and there would always be another FanFest. To this day, Aniero pretends to hate the game, just to throw everyone off the trail of his passionate encounter with his discount Kojima, his Yoshi P senpai.
Discount Kojima.
God, jeez.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was all right. That was a lot better.
Everyone make peace with whatever gods you believe in, because we are definitely dead come next Sunday. Like LBR's over, right? Anero's going to make front pages. Local podcast host slaughters everyone.
I mean, also, if Yoshi doesn't shut us down after that, I don't know.
I guess that's why
clearly,
never
look, disclaimer, clearly the Yoshi in that story was green and reptilian and from Mario.
Yes.
Bowser?
Yeah. That's
Got
what
it.
that
Should have
was.
let you sit on that awful joke.
Yeah. Hey, that's to protect us. So if we're taking to court over this, we can be like, no, this was not defamation or slander or anything like that. It was the Mario character. So, all right, guys. That's it. That's our show. Honestly, you got more out of this than I thought you were going to get. So, congratulations. Fanfics are done. Please don't send in any more. Kooky, I would like you to delete any more fanfics on site.
Okay.
Okay.
Cookie, don't do that. We have to push them to the front. Of the
No,
list.
definitely deleting them all.
You have to do some digging to get to those, by the way.
Site. That was all terrible. So that's it, guys. That's the end of LBR today. Again, I apologize. They only got half an episode. But you can blame Mother Nature. We'll be back. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, be able to make up for that.
Isn't next week Mother's Day?
Next week is Mother's
So
Day.
I don't know what the deal's happening with that.